everyone, it's Willow, and we're in the car with Caden and Nick, and we are driving somewhere undisclosed. Caden doesn't know where we're going because it's his birthday, and we decided to surprise him. So, follow along and find out where we go. When we finally got there after an hour and a half of driving, we decided to stretch our legs because that was a long drive. Also joining us on this adventure is our friend Jackson and our friend Kat, who went to the Dells with us last time, and if you haven't seen that video, click the subscribe button, and then after this video, go check that out. But first, there is something I want to show you across the street that I learned about the Dells after I left last time. So I was digging through my grandparents' old photo album from their visits to the Dells, and there was this place they had a pamphlet to called the Enchanted Forest, and it had a lot of dinosaur sculptures, and I found a video of it online, and there's the video up there. You can go check that out. And yeah, so that's where it used to be, so that was a really cool thing. Now it was time to walk to our location. Caden still had no clue where we were going. He was looking around trying to figure it out, but I wasn't going to tell him until we got there. The Dells was pretty empty today. In fact, it was first thing in the morning, so it probably would get busier later in the day. But for now, it was really neat to see the Dells empty without so many crowds. Everyone wave hi to Zoltar! We also wanted to stop in the hot sauce shop, but they were actually closed, but we found out they had another location, so we'll take Nick there a little bit later because he likes hot sauce, and I want him to try the Flatline. So we finally started walking up on it. Caden still hadn't figured it out yet until we got across the street, and here we are at our location. Hi all you colorful sprinkles, it's Willow, and today we are at Wizard Quest in Wisconsin Dells, and we're gonna check it out. So join us on this adventure. When we first got there, the first thing they had us do was watch a little video on how to play the game.
Greetings. I'm Willow, and I will be your guide.
That's my name.
Your tablet will be a vital part of your questing experience.
I had a really hard time focusing on the instructions because there was so much to look at. But they did give us this cool flashlight and a little iPad that I had to sign a waiver for. In the meantime, we were waiting for our friend Taylor to show up, so we decided to explore the gift shop a little bit. The gift shop was full of all sorts of fantasy fairy tale things, like magic wands. And of course they had their Wizard Quest t-shirts, and they were in every kind of design imaginable. And whatever this thing is, Jackson and I weren't quite sure what it was. The whole building was decked out like a magical world.
I'm gonna have to get this. Like, it is a need, not a want.
After exploring the gift shop, our friend Taylor arrived, and it was time to go in and explore Wizard Quest. It was like we stepped into a dream world. It was very surreal. Everything there was magical looking. So we tried to start the game, and it got a little confusing at first. We weren't quite sure how to work or operate the game. So we spent a few minutes fiddling around with the iPad. I think Caden kind of got it figured out, but we were just all so overwhelmed by all the crazy stuff to see that the game shortly kind of just got out of hand, and we went everywhere and explored everything. So let's just take a look at some of the cool things to see at Wizard Quest. This first room was themed like it was underwater, and there was coral everywhere and little alcoves with magical creatures in them, and you could watch a little video that talked about the creatures, and then afterwards the iPad would ask you a question based on the video. Look at this koi fish mermaid. We learned quickly that you have to explore every alcove in order to find all the secret hidden things. That's kind of scary. I'm gonna have nightmares about that. I couldn't help but think how much attention to detail they really paid when they were building this place. Every little piece of moss, every little fungus on the wall was hand-placed by someone. It was fun to open doors and see what was sitting behind them. Look at this little weird troll thing. Venturing further into the underwater world, we ended up in a coral reef full of little clam shells and things to lift up and look under. There was hidden treasure everywhere, and you just gotta look really deep and you'll find it. There was this glowing door that we decided to take a look in and see where it led. It took us into the lobby of this little room, which actually had cameras going that showed every room in the building. Then it was into this magical forest, and these mirrors created such a cool illusion that made the room look huge. There were these QR codes sitting everywhere that you could scan and they would take you to different quests in the game. I don't know how many of you remember the old Nickelodeon show Legends of the Hidden Temple. It was a game show where you walked through a hidden temple, and there was this one area called the Hidden Forest, or the Lost Forest. I can't remember what it was called, but there was a room connected to this, and we're about to go in it, and it kind of reminded me of the Lost Forest, where trees would reach out and grab you. Fortunately, the trees did not reach out and grab us in here, but it did take us into a even larger room full of trees that had all sorts of mystical creatures everywhere. In one of the trees there was this giant naked fairy covered in glitter. Now's a good time, while I have your attention, to hit the subscribe button. In one of the trees there was a little kid sleeping underneath this creepy looking goat man. While I was looking at the creepy goat man, I noticed that Caden had found something over in the corner with his flashlight. It was a tunnel underneath one of the areas. So I did what any good YouTuber would do and handed Caden my camera to go explore it, since I probably wasn't going to be fitting in that hole. Inside there was these little potato-like characters. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be. Maybe they're rocks because they have moss on them. But they were living inside that hole, so Caden decided to leave them alone, and it spit him back out on the other side of the room. Walking further into the exhibit, there was another living room looking area where there was this little spinning orc, maybe? I'm not sure what he's supposed to be, an elf? Anyway, you can actually see people outside walking by the building looking in. Then I followed Taylor down this dark, glowing red tunnel. Ah! Maybe it's a relative of Yoda's. Then we decided to head back through the tunnel and out to the main lobby to go upstairs to the new level. This one was themed like the sky. After going up the stairs, we headed through the clouds into this magical looking room that kind of reminded me of the video game The Mist. It kind of had a steampunk feel with a little bit of a magical, airy vibe to it. There were also lots of things dangling from the ceiling and a lot to see. There was also this secret room that Kat found, and unfortunately, it was a mirror maze, and I have never been more stressed in my life. We tried so hard not to walk into walls and just kind of follow each other, but it got really disorienting. Also, the lighting would change and flicker, so it made it hard to see at all times. I was worried we were going to be trapped in here for the rest of the day. But thankfully, thanks to some really great explorers in our group, we found the exit door. They also had a bathroom in case you spent the day inside there. Some of these sculptures were really intricate, like check out this steampunk cyborg. Very cool. And then there was this golden ship, which we noticed stairs in the back. Also check out this knight overlooking the ship. But climbing up the stairs in the back actually led you on top of this ship, which made for a great photo opportunity if you wanted to take some photos up there. And oh my god, what is that thing? I never want to see that again in my life. The ship also gave you a great view of some of the higher up decorations as well, so you could see all the little things hanging from the roof. Then we went into this room that was full of bird cages, and Jackson noticed that there was this rainbow slide, and we were trying to figure out how to get up it because we really wanted to go down that rainbow slide. And around this time, we also lost Caden, Nick, and Kat, so we were exploring on our own. I decided to ask this bird human thing, but he didn't reply. Thanks anyway. In our quest to find the way to the rainbow slide, we did go through this maze of cages, but we couldn't really find any exit points or entrance points into anything. So we just kind of got lost in this little cage for a few minutes and then found our way back out. After a bit of dizzying exploring, we did find a staircase that led us upwards, but there was a gate that blocked our way through. We then headed back down to find the entrance to the rainbow slide because it wasn't up there. We did notice people, though, standing behind the cage where the rainbow slide was. Heading past the steampunk guy, we did notice this little green glowing hallway, which was really cool looking actually. Made for a really cool photo opportunity. Heading through that green hallway, we ended up upstairs in the treetops. Now that we were up there, we were trying to figure out how to get down on that floor level. There were clearly people walking around down there, so how do we get down? Then I heard Caden calling me. It was then we bumped into our friend Kat, who was coming up a staircase, so we figured that's probably where they all were. And there's Caden. With a little guidance from this person behind the desk, they helped us find our way down, and we wandered further into the lower levels. while we were exploring, Caden actually discovered this cool little secret passageway that he showed us. You just take the teapot, tilt it, and it opens a secret passageway. I wonder actually how many rooms there are hidden throughout this place, and how many we actually missed. But that led us up a staircase into the treetops again? We happened upon a little fairy ball.
Oh, look at the Black Widow one.
There's a dude playing bagpipes.
Then we wandered through the treetops, down a secret staircase that we found in the back. That led us to a little room that had a sign that said exit. Opening the exit door, though, led us back into the cage room, this time, though, on another side of the cages where we were able to go up a stairs. Pardon Nick's butt. I was trying to walk upstairs and hold a camera. And that led us to the other side of the gate. On the other side of the gate was this fairy sitting behind glass, just chilling, posing, maybe playing an invisible keyboard. Then we found this secret passage that led us into kind of like a little storeroom full of scrolls and stuff. As we wandered down the hallway, we found the entrance to the Rainbow Slide, which of course we had to go down. Oh shit! Shocked me.
Is it clear?
Clear. So much static. Pretty fast. Oh, wow! Just spinning. Are you okay?
Yes.
Sit down.
Hold on, let me move.
Yeah, don't sit there. We had a blast at Wizard Quest, even though we didn't really figure out the game. But we were working up an appetite, so we went to lunch at Mac's, which has amazing mac and cheese. All different types, too. They had like a taco one, and it was so good. Always go there if you get the chance. Next on our trip is going to be Ripley's Believe It or Not, but you're gonna have to stay tuned for next week, where we even have Nick try the Flatline at the hot sauce place. So, make sure you hit the subscribe button because he had to sign a waiver for this. I'll see you next week. Please hit the subscribe button. Please like the video. And definitely come back next week on Monday where we explore Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'll see you next week, everyone. Oh, also maybe check out one of these videos. You might like them. Also, check out the video of us going to the Dells. Alright, I'm leaving now. Bye.